You just tuned it in.
Global and worldwide.
Hitting you on the one with no delay. Because it's the Fighter's Voice.
The Fighter's Voice.
With your fighting host, Richard Ortiz.
And the formidable co-host,
Mr. Cole Escobedo. Remember, every fighter has a voice.
Fresno, California. We are live in Fresno. There's bad traffic in Fresno, so if you're on your way to Fresno, hitting the 99, drive safe, drive slow, and drive responsibly, most important. We got a knockout show for you today. We got with us in studio the undefeated, I believe he's from Stockton or Manteca. What are you from, Stockton or Manteca? Manteca.
Yes,
hey, man, Manteca, Stockton, they're cousins. You know what I mean?
209, the whole 209.
The whole 209. We have with us in studio the one, the only, JOSE Maria Carrilllo, who's very successful in Tijuana this weekend. He's 5-0 and won 5 KOs, which means he puts you to sleep. Talking about put you to sleep, I got my co-host with the most, the one, the only, the UFC veteran himself, the Apache kid who put many opponents to sleep. You're just looking at me, amigo. What's going on?
No, the traffic, bro. I can't get over how bad it is.
Oh, it is bad.
Ridiculous, dude.
But
I do like a 5-0 record with all finishes. That's pretty nice, though.
Yeah,
what's the deepest round you've seen?
Deepest round went to decision with my draw. And that was my fight in July, and that's
okay. But that's a draw. That doesn't really.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Out of your 5 finishes, what's the deepest round you've seen?
A second round. Yeah.
Second round, my man. I mean, look at the whole getup, the whole hat and everything. It's like when you were walking in the studio, it's like you're walking in the ring, man. Don't be missing it. Your mouthpiece and your gloves.
Like, yeah.
You're ready to go.
Exactly. Yeah. It's a like a trademark look that I wanna get for myself, and
good.
I want the people to know me as the guy who wears the sombrero and the zarape.
That's right.
Self-branding.
Yeah.
Self-branding is not a bad thing.
Cole, you would call this a poncho, but you know.
A poncho, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, it's the whole idea of self-branding is like an image, because everybody will be like, well, no, that's Jose. That's what that is right there. You'll be able to have like a silhouette kind of thing.
They see and bing, that's him.
Yeah.
You know?
Something like a silhouette with a boxing glove on and the sombrero hat. They'd be like, that's Jose's logo. That's, you know, that.
You know what? I like this coming from this young fighter because we don't have to have that conversation with them. Whenever young fighters come on here, we talk to them about self-branding, especially Cole right here.
Yeah.
Get your Instagram, whatever it is. You got to brand yourself. Even though you may have a promoter or manager, hey, you always don't rely on them. You got to continue to promote yourself every single day.
You're your own like business, so you got to get yourself out there.
If nobody promotes you, I mean, if you don't promote yourself, nobody else is.
Yeah, no one's gonna do it for you.
So talk to us, man. 21 years old, and you're still a student? A college student, or what are you doing?
Right now, we got training camp in Tijuana, Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So I'm doing that, and then when I get back, I want to hump into the police academy in Oakland, California. I want to do that.
Area.
Yeah, no, I went to the academy. It's fun. Yeah, they're fun, man. That's a good decision.
I'm excited. It's gonna be a nice experience.
It is. It actually
and a nicer career too.
You know, like police academy or CHP.
Police academy.
Okay, they've got significant differences. One you can kind of most of them you can go home at the end of the day. The other one, it's like you got to move up there for like 6 months.
Absolutely.
I like it.
Well, we got a couple fighters that we know that are in law enforcement. Evan Solario,
Brian, Evan.
Oh yeah, Brian. You know, Batman, aka
Batman. Yeah, right out the gate, those two.
There you go. Speaking of him, and I'm going to change the subject a little bit. He had a workout today with Hector Macho Camacho Jr. And on the way, I was talking to his close friend. Well, I want to say agent manager because I should. He's doing everything. Hey, no offense, Cassius Clay. That's an inside joke, though. But anyways, he said, I like him, man. He's working on my footwork, my hands, and sky's the limit. And I like what Brian brings to the table. But this Thursday, we're going to go down to Selma, Robert Garcia's Boxing Academy. And Camacho's going to be there. Well, no, it's a soft opening.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
he wants Camacho's going to be there for the soft opening.
Wants to come and check it out over there at Big Al Perez and
see if maybe he wants to make that his base camp kind of location.
He's looking for a home, man.
You know, when you have a new gym, sport specific, it'd be like if you were going to open a football training facility for quarterbacks, you're going to have Joe Montana show up if he can because he's in California. You're going to see what it would cost to get Brett Favre, right? You know, you're going to try. You have quarterbacks show up. You're not going to have Jerry Rice or Deion Sanders show up. They're wide receivers.
Yeah, exactly.
They're not going to. What are they going to tell people that's there for a specific quarterback camp? So
exactly.
I like that concept. Bringing somebody that you can attach to the gym, like what Koscheck did with Dethrone when he opened the AKA spot.
There you go.
He was like, "This is Josh Koscheck's location gym. This is his base camp. This is his gym." So attaching yourself with a top fighter like that's not a bad idea.
No, it's not a bad idea. Listen, I'm sure your mom and dad or your uncles, they've all watched Hector Macho Camacho Sr.
Yeah.
I mean, against them war. Well, I wouldn't say wars, but that fight with Julio Cesar Chavez, and you had all the Mexicanos and the Boricuas going at it.
Yeah.
I mean, when you what's your take?
It's a must. You must see that.
Oh, exactly. So, what's your take on Camacho Sr. or the fight game? Are you a student of the game as far as the historical part, or today's fighters? Or
no, I mean, I just been like, I would go on YouTube and I would just watch old fights, all the old fights that I wasn't born to watch.
That's right.
And well, every boxer plays a spot in the boxing history. And well, Camacho, he had his thing. He had his charisma, his show.
Yeah.
And he was a great boxer too.
Yeah.
And he had great fights too.
Yeah, and you know one thing you can't say about him, and you can say a lot, he's never been knocked out. Man, the man had an iron chin. He's been dropped, but he's never been put to sleep.
Yeah, he's been able to stand back up and just shake it and be like, okay.
Absolutely. I just bring that up, man.
That's the champ right there.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Because his son, Camacho Jr., man, nice guy, man. Different personalities. You know, you would think they would still have the flamboyance of his father, but no, different dude. And he's making a comeback, just to let you know. Well, how much do you weigh, my man?
I fight at 118.
Okay, maybe get some work, you know.
Yeah.
Some movement with the legend right there. But
it'd be fun.
Yeah, it would be fun. It'd be an honor to get in the ring with the son of a legend.
Yeah, no, definitely. And it's kind of like the it's part of the topic. Always told my parents and like people I know around, I was like, I would always want to get in the ring with Manny Pacquiao and spar him, even though he's like way heavier than me. But that would be just awesome for me.
That'd be such an.
But it's not
going
to
such
happen.
a thing to happen and see. Well, I mean, I don't know.
Wait. Hold on. What do you mean? You would just say that's not going to happen?
I don't think it's going to happen.
No. There's no never. There's no never. We're here in Fresno right here, but I see this thing going global.
He's pretty open-minded.
Global.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it's not going to happen.
If he's listening and would want to spar me, like I only go up to 125.
Okay. I'll send it to Marie. I'll send the message. Okay. Anyways, to Marie. She handles with Freddie, or I'll send it to Sean Gibbons. He's real close with Manny. I'm not saying it's going to happen. But you'd be surprised.
I mean, that'd be dope. That'd be like a bucket list checked off.
Absolutely.
From my
like
life.
my question.
Yeah,
I've always wondered in watching boxing when people say, "Hey, every time I watch boxing on the big screen." They talk about, well, during his camp, Freddie had so-and-so come in and so-and-so. Like, these are guys you got to pay. Like, I'd have to pay Jose to come in and say, okay, Jose, you're going to come in over the weekend. We got your hotel. We got your food. We're going to pay you $500 a day. Basically, we just need you to be a sparring partner for as many times as we need to use you. Do they solicit that? Do people just regularly come to a guy and say, we need Jose? Or because I never see anybody going like around and saying, I've got so-and-so and so-and-so for X amount of dollars. They'll come and you can use them for a weekend of sparring, things like. I don't really ever see anybody really advertising that, like offering that kind of service.
Every professional fighter, back in the day, they would call it sparring. Actually, they would call it pugging back in the day, sparring. And now to bring in a sparring partner, now it's kind of like neighborly. Even though you got two prize fighters, it's rare that you put them in there together. That is definitely close quarters. I mean, the door is closed. And as one can say, hey, I got a fight coming up. Say you got a world title coming up. And there may be a guy that he may be fighting or he's fought before. He may bring him in and say, hey, let's work something out. I just need some movement here. I'm not trying to...
a replicant kind of.
Yes, let's just get some movement. There's an agreement and that type of stuff.
Okay, so then say a guy like Manny then...
Oh, he'll never be a sparring partner.
But that's what I'm saying is, how do you not market for a certain price that, okay, for some reason you get a guy that's in a different weight class.
No, Manny would spar with him as opposed to, hey, I'm not coming in as a sparring partner to get you ready for just because of his workload.
Yeah, okay. So you don't think there's any money in that market then?
A sparring partner, man, those are
at certain calibers, like guys like Floyd and Manny, like you could legitimately get them to come in and spar with your team for a weekend, and they're not going to beat him. But the amount of experience
there may be a proposal and say, hey, I need some rounds in, okay? I'll contact a gym. I'll contact any gym that I want. Hey, can you bring some fighters? I just need some movement. Okay, let them know I don't want no videotape or nothing. I'll contribute this to your gym or what have you. A lot of fighters do that. The only big names that I've known in history and there's some other ones, is Oscar De La Hoya had Shane Mosley work out with him to prepare him for Floyd Mayweather. Yeah. And other than that, I mean, there's some other big names, and they fought each other. They were rivals, but the door was completely closed. You know what I mean? Because those are two big names. They fought each other, and they could easily, you know what I mean? They're top notch as far as their game. They wouldn't be called a sparring partner. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because some fighters, young fighters, they make a living being recruited. I'll say, okay, I'll take Fresno's own Joe Smoke and Louis Lopez. He was a sparring partner for Andre Ward in Oakland, California, the undisputed light heavyweight champion of the world. And also Kilo the Kid Madera from Stockton, he was also a sparring partner. So they got paid to come and spar.
Yeah, because they had a certain fight type, and they're like,
Exactly.
we need to get some simulation with that.
Exactly. And there's no shame to that. Larry Holmes was a sparring partner for the greatest of all time, Muhammad Ali. But he turned around and they ended up fighting. 2 different eras.
I could never, I mean, who would ever look down on somebody being a sparring partner? Because all that would tell me is that even if I think I'm a better boxer than you, and you're a sparring partner.
We're on TV, live water.
They bring a sparring partner in, that automatically tells me that if
And,
they
and
came
I'm wearing
picked
light
you-
pants too, man. Don't you wear? Let me change the subject. Don't you, when you're wearing tan pants and you tell your wife or your others or your homeboy, hey, I got to go to the restroom, and then you wash your hands,
Oh,
and
it
then
splashes
and
up
no,
on
and they
you?
got that sink that just splashes all over it, dude. How do you go back out there like that?
You
I
own
mean,
it.
really.
You just walk out and own it.
Unless you're Jose and you got the sombrero and you got the poncho right here just to cover the
I just cover
the
it.
good.
Yeah,
you know
but
what I mean?
but if you cover it,
Boom.
the second somebody sees it, they're going to automatically assume that you peed
Like I
yourself.
said, unless you're Jose.
I would
Because
just walk
that's
out.
just his walk
I just
around.
walk out and be like, man, they got ridiculous water pressure in their seat,
They
guys.
do.
Hey, boys, heads up when you guys go in. Stand a little to the left. It's going to blast you, and they're going to be like, "Oh, poor dude."
Okay, bro, let's be careful when you coming out of the restroom saying heads up, okay? Because that just don't kind of freaking go a little bit, okay? I mean, you got to be very careful, just like that cup there. Is there a hole in this cup? Yeah, there's a hole in this cup. Huh? There's some. You know what it was? Because I want to show this off, man. And it's off the topic. Look at this gift right here that the fighter's voice got. I mean, look at this stuff right here.
Oh, who got you?
It's a
was
big
that,
bottle.
tequila?
It's a big bottle. We don't mention tequila or beer on the radio show, Cole.
Isn't
It's
that
a
what it
big
is, then?
bottle of cologne. It's a great big bottle of cologne. See, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna
Smells
splash it all over me, and who knows? I may get lucky. You know. I mean, whole bottle of cologne, my man, cologne. Because we don't mention alcohol.
it looks like a
we don't
cheese
mention
grater.
alcohol or tobacco on the
It
radio.
looks like a cheese grater.
does.
I'm not going to
It-
lie, dude. Like
it
for a
does.
second, I thought somebody got you a cheese grater. I was going to be like, wow.
This cologne smells good, and I don't know if it ever
Yeah.
tastes good, but we'll find out. Yeah.
Like that guy in college. Is this perfume or whiskey? Just
Yeah,
drinks
there-
it.
exactly.
Nope, it was perfume.
No, that's not it, man. That's not it.
But like I was saying is like I would never have a problem if they said, "Oh, you're just a sparring partner." Great, they're paying me, and they think I'm good enough at a certain with a certain range
Yeah.
to pay me to come get their guy ready. So great, I'm getting paid. You're not getting fights. Call me a sparring partner. Like, I would never see it.
term is now getting more respect than it's ever gotten before. Because before people would use the term, "Oh, you're just a sparring partner."
Okay, so they would look down on like you're not good enough to get a fight, but you're okay to be a sparring partner, like somebody
exactly,
to punch.
exactly.
Okay.
A tomato can, a journeyman, and there's a lot of terms that you can use.
See, I never, dude. In the 10 years, I never experienced that. It was always everybody on the team had like something.
I mean, no
to
one in
offer,
wrestling ever
even
called
the
you like
newest
joking
guy.
around, called you a mat maid
No,
because they knew better, right?
well,
No.
yeah. Back then, it was
Yeah.
everybody. Well, everybody pitched in. There was no such thing
Okay.
as like that. There was no one guy that did it. Even if the guy that was training for free, he automatically would pick
Yeah.
up the mop, but nobody would because he can't afford to pay, and this is what he's doing.
Hey, I got no
and
problem with that.
And he puts in time on the
I got
mat
no
just like
problem with
everybody
that.
else.
No, I got no problem with that.
But
Jose,
I've never heard that. That's
No, well, yeah, it's out there. Jose, in case you didn't know, this is Cole Escovedo. He used to break arms for a living. You know, in the UFC
Yeah,
cage,
yeah,
a veteran. So different sport, but still the same respect. You know.
Yeah, always respect for anybody who steps in the octagon or ring. Anybody, because who wants to get hit for a living? Like,
Yeah.
Who
I don't know. Some of them do, man. You get guys
Wow.
like Cerrone. Some of them do. Now, okay. So the weird part
And for other
isn't
people's entertainment. Yeah,
the
it's-
weird part isn't that they get hit for a living. The weird part is that they're okay.
Yeah, they're okay. Like
They're
they're like,
okay
okay,
with
yep,
getting hit
I know
for
I'm
a
gonna get
living.
hit, but they're okay
but
with
yeah,
it.
like
yeah.
whatever. Yeah, like it's cool. I'm
Yeah.
gonna get to hit you too. It's
Yeah, exactly. You know, when you were coming in, I was trying to get the name right. I was trying to place the face. I go, I've seen you before. And then your dude right here from your account goes, oh, no, you were your ring announcer. I was your ring announcer at one of the
Yeah,
shows.
yeah.
So, I mean,
That's
I'm
kind of
sorry.
the
No,
first-
I mean,
the first show, yeah.
hey, what I don't want to be is one of those guys that, hey, Richard, how's it going? And you're kind of thinking, who is that guy right there? Do I owe him money or is he looking for me? Or what's going on
do I
here?
acknowledge that I'm rich?
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
Mikey. Oh, I don't. Oh, hey, Steve. Yeah, what's up, bro?
Exactly.
No, here's the thing though. If you get that feeling, sometimes you just have to roll with it. Like, the better you just roll with it, because you meet so many people that sometimes you can't just remember every single name.
I
no
did
matter
the
how hard you
minute.
try.
I did out of respect the minute I sat down because I was kind of multitasking. Okay, are
Yeah.
the mic's working? Is everything okay? And they're just
Yeah.
like everything else. See, you have the luxury once you get in the ring, all that's been taken care of for you, from the hand wraps to the conditioning to the management to the whole team. You just got to go in the ring and take care of business, man.
Do my job. Yeah, exactly.
So growing up, in a minute before we go to commercial break, growing up real quick, and we'll touch on it and we'll reflect when we come back from commercial. What fighters did you watch growing up?
The first fighter that I actually remember saying his name, and when I was young, I was probably like 4 years old, was Marco Antonio Barrera.
Oh, that's what's up, man. Heck
Him,
yeah. Love that dude.
El Terrible Morales, De La Hoya. I remember they had the De La Hoya Vargas fight at my house. My whole family was there. I remember that like vividly.
That was called Bad Blood.
Yeah. I remember that, and I was small, and I just been watching all those Juan Manuel Marquez, all those fighters.
All the Hall of Famers, man.
Yeah,
man.
They were always like, we always had fights at my house, and the whole family would come over and watch them, and that just stuck to my mind.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Barbecuing, drinking Gatorade, and
The one family member, the one uncle that didn't have a black box that was going to get zapped.
Yeah.
When halfway through the first round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. I mean, you always have those too, where everybody would pitch in. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that cable bill will get you back in the day.
Dude,
back in the day,
everybody, you better come
up.
with $10 and a case of beer.
Absolutely.
And that was like a min requirement because it was like 60, 70, $80. So you bring 10 people over.
Yeah, that was back in the day, man. But you know what? Talking about back in the day, we're going to reflect on back in the day. We're going to talk to Jose, ask him about what does the future hold. It looks bright. We'll be coming right back. I'm your host, Richard Ortiz of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Show, simply knocking out the competition. We'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Jose Ramirez.
I'm Bob Arum.
Hi, I'm Robert Garcia, and I'm with the Fighter's Voice.
The only radio show knocking out the competition. Fighter's Voice Radio Show.
And we're back, Fresno, California. Richard Ortiz, your host of the Fighter's Voice Knockout Radio Show. Co Escovedo, the co-host with the most, and our guest, Mr. Jose Maria Carrillo in studio. Listen, we went back. We took it back in the day when we talked about fighters that you grew up watching when you were the age of 4. Now I want to know, who do you watch today and say, you know what, I'm kind of digging what they're doing?
Mikey Garcia. That's one person that pops in my head real quick. There's just like Lomachenko, Mikey Garcia, El Panterita Neri, like people around my way. Sarung Vasai, all like a bunch of fighters. I look up to a bunch of fighters. Yeah.
So you brought up Mikey Garcia. Of course, you know what question I'm going to ask you, man. I mean, he's taking on a monster in Spence, man. What's your whole take on that and just the whole decision to move up 2 weight classes?
I think he's a very smart boxer, and he made the choice because he knew like he could do it.
Yeah. And
I believe he can too. My money's on Mikey Garcia because he's just talented. He's smart. He knows how to use the ring. He knows what punches to throw at the exact time. And yeah.
What do you think the game plan is going to be going into that fight?
I'm not sure, but it's going to be a good fight. I tell you that.
It is going to be a good fight, and they're fighting at Dallas Cowboy Stadium, Texas Stadium.
It's going to be
dope.
dope.
Oh, it's going to be huge.
That's an open roof stadium.
It is an open roof. Well, we can open it up and close it.
When's it going to be?
Really? The 16th of March, my man?
That'd still be a little warm out.
Yeah, a little something, man. A little
warm.
No,
it'd be fun to have a fight in an open domed arena like that. Use the sunlight and stuff. That'd be fun.
Yeah. You'll fight in an arena someday, man. So what's your whole goal like? And I read a little bit here about you, but I like to get it out of you.
Yeah,
so what's
yeah.
your goal that you want to accomplish in boxing?
Well, I want to scale up like in the weight levels, the divisions, but I would like my dream would be being an undisputed champion at a weight class, and that would be it.
Well, hey, it's there for your taking.
Yeah.
Exactly. So, what's your style like? Is it elusive? Do you sit down on your punches? I mean, who would you compare your style like today?
I don't know. My style was like I told my coaches and I told
I know what
Toscano.
I remember. I know what I remember now.
Yeah,
but I want to hear it from you.
Well, it depends on the fighter that I'm fighting. Like Floyd, I adjust to my opponent, and during the fight I just keep adjusting. And I wouldn't say I got a specific style. I just go like off what we worked on and what the fighter is bringing towards me.
There you go. I remember it was much of like a boxer puncher.
Yeah.
I mean, what I noticed.
Something like
I remember
that,
your footwork, man. Because I noticed little things like that, man.
Yeah, I mean, I like to work work my footwork, move around. But when it's time to sit down on the punches, I'll sit down on the punches and I'll brawl.
Hey, talk to us about Toscano Boxing Promotions, man. And I want to show off this hat, repping this hat right here, man. Check this out. Boom. You know, I'm usually, I always give Cole a hat. But I'm not sure if I want to do so today, man. You know what I mean? Because I like them both.
They're not actually,
which one do you like?
The different color schemes are actually not bad.
Which one do you like?
I'm a fan of dark gray colors.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go. We'll do
That's
that right
the one.
there.
Yeah, I like gray colors.
Yeah.
I always got, I've got this hat now, and I'll have our the Dying Breed hat.
Dying Breed,
and
brother.
then I've got, I think, the one with our logo on it. I've got like 2 or 3 of them like my back seat. So on like
Got
the
this
days
cool
where I
towel
like,
too.
you know when you have hair days?
Oh, you use a couple towels.
A couple of them, yeah.
Here, Cole. So when you spill water on yourself like I did, you'll be good to go.
Bring it back.
No, so
You'll be good to go.
I like that I'm seeing a lot of where's your name on this though, man?
It's just a scanner right now.
Man, we gotta work
Yeah,
on
we
that.
gotta get some
mark
custom.
us on
That's
it.
got like you know what's funny is you don't even need your name, but
I like that logo though.
like your signature, like the embroidered signature
there
on
you
it. Like
go.
you didn't have to have your name, but like your signature on it.
Yeah.
That would be cool. And like this whole time I've been sitting here and I was gonna ask you, I know you're calling yourself Jose with that JMC. Do you always go by that when you get announced? Do you always go by
Jose Carrillo.
Okay, so then what I'm curious is, have you looked into having just the initials as a branding logo, as a marketing logo, as for Jose Maria Carrillo, when they see it, it's just JMC.
Yeah, I got a logo right
See?
right over there.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, there
see?
you go.
My
But
brother,
now picture the J is the left of the M, and it just goes right into the M, and then a C. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you
Put the
just
M in it too.
you got a J there,
And
the
the
M on
C.
the bottom, and then the C is the right hand side.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's kind of similar to what I was
Yeah, that's
thinking.
it.
I'm gonna have to draw you something. I need a pen. I'm gonna have to sketch you something up. I got something really funny. I got.
For sure.
There's a lot of chicken scratch, man.
I do a lot of the chicken scratching, but the question you asked about what he sees himself. So
Yeah.
without having gotten a chance to watch any footage on Jose, like I asked him, how many rounds have you seen? How deep have you gone? And he's got all 5 round KOs by the second round. So without even having seen footage and asking him what kind of fighter are you, just based on that data alone, I would say you're not necessarily an aggressive. Not that you're not an aggressive fighter, because those fights, as far as he's gone, is like the second round. That's 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Most of your average fights, when you're actually having to trade with your opponent, goes about 4 or 5 rounds. You're kind of give and take and find out where you go. But to only have gone like 2 rounds deep, and usually you just end, it's not that I'd say he's an aggressive fighter. He talks a lot about sitting down on the punch. I think it's a lot of, he just kind of lets what they do, and when they come to him, he just sits on it and just cracks them. I'd say it's more of a strength fighter. Like he's just got the sit down on it and just bang you. He doesn't have to chase you down.
Are you a counter puncher, or you just kind of wait on them and then you apply your own pressure? Because
I like doing counter punching.
It sounds like you think things over. You just kind of break that down. The mental part of boxing.
Because he doesn't sound like he chases him, but it's just done. It's not like he's getting the footwork and just catch him. It's I'm just bang,
my dude comes to fight at the first round.
But some guys will actively chase you, and that's where you see like a fight of 3 or 4 rounds, because one guy's kind of chasing him, the other guy's kind of dancing, maybe he pushes back. But when the deepest he's ever seen is like the second round, and they're all finishes, that tells me that either they're just coming to him with their freaking chin out like that, or they're just coming at the wrong time, and he goes up, there's the open, bang, sits on it, and done. You're done.
Yeah.
Next, let's go on. So it tells me that he's just a strong striker, less an aggressive chaser. So like, without having been able to see
Hey,
a
all
fight,
5 wins by knockout, man.
That's what I'm saying.
21 years old, man.
That's what I'm saying. And how long
It's
have
a
you been
baby
fighting?
in the sport.
I've been training and fighting for about 8-9 years. Yeah, since I was 12.
Okay.
And it's just been my life ever since that. Like I always liked American football.
Yeah.
And I played football 1 year.
Who's your team, man?
My team, the 49ers, San Francisco 49ers, professionally.
See,
Really,
that's
dude?
a
Go ahead and cut his mic
global
off, dude. If you're gonna be
concept.
saying stuff like
Nah,
that, I said no bad words on the show, bro, and you're over here.
But did you hear the global
dropping
concept?
f bombs.
When you ask him what's your favorite
49ers.
team, and he goes, "Well, American football." Like that's a global answer. Somebody who actually like knows there's other sports in
Well,
the world.
exactly.
Like they were like, "Oh yeah, American football," or it's like, "Yeah, okay, soccer."
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and it's weird. You can't just say football. Us, we get it. It's like football world championships. No, it's not.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, I get what you're saying, man. But I want to ask you this, man. When can we see you back here in the States, man?
In the
And what's
States,
going on? Yes.
well, probably next year. I still got to fight in March in TJ in
Okay.
Tijuana, and then I got my last fight in Tijuana in April.
Okay.
After that, I come back. I'm gonna get LASIK eye surgery,
Oh, okay.
and I'll be out for 6 months. So I won't be back in the States like fighting till next year, early.
Okay.
Hopefully, if God allows. Yeah.
Everything okay? No detached retina or any of that? No Sugar Ray Leonard?
No.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it, but when I get back, yeah.
No, that's good. No, get all that stuff done. Safe. Be safe,
Yeah.
man.
And now that
20/20
like
vision,
since I'm
man.
young, might as well do it when I'm young.
Absolutely,
I got
man.
some time.
That's great advice. I want to ask you this, man. So What's your whole take on Top Rank coming to freaking Stockton, California?
I think it's dope.
209 Gabriel Flores Jr.,
shouts out.
the youngest ever. Gabe Flores Sr., man, shouts out. Mad love right there.
Yeah,
man.
yeah. I think it's dope. It's good for the sport, and it's good for the whole 209 area.
Yeah.
To be more involved in boxing, and it's gonna be a good show. It's gonna be, and at the arena.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm
Stockton's
excited.
got a pretty underrated arena as far as people who have held events there. Like, it's got a decent downtown with like a nice skyline. It's got that, what is it, a lake? It's got its own lake. And stuff over there. It's it's got an underrated auditorium that needs like a little attention. I think this will be one of those steps towards it.
Well,
nice.
You know what? When you see that there and you see Gabriel Flores, you know, on we'll say the limelight, so to speak, you need to vision. I'm sure you've done this before. You need to vision yourself that your time's going to come.
Yeah.
That you're going to debut there or wherever around the area, whether it's Fresno or Las Vegas. And I'm glad you're thinking big and looking big into the future, man.
Yeah.
And you have everything in line. You got a game plan in line, man. That's good stuff, man.
Yeah. And like everything in life, everything good takes time. So
absolutely.
My time will go sometime.
Absolutely. Well, it's coming out. Shoot. What do you mean sometime? You're on the Fighter's Voice
I'm just
Knockout
working.
Radio show.
That's big right there. That's
the
it's
Fighter's
huge.
Voice, the only voice that matters, simply knocking out the competition. And if you're not around, you probably got knocked out. It says it all. Plain and simple, period, man. We're going to take a commercial break. We're coming back with Cole's Beatdown.